development program, yeah.
Na number one.
Housing development program, yeah.
Na number one.
Na number one for Nigeria.
Na number one.
Housing development program, yeah.
Na number one.
For estate developers, yeah.
Na number one.
The place to showcase what you've got here.
Na number one.
Encyclopedia on housing matter.
Na number one.
Housing development program, yeah.
Na number one.
Housing development program, yeah.
Na number one.
Na number one for Nigeria.
Na number one.
Obonge program, yeah.
Na number one.
Housing development program, yeah.
Hello Nigeria, this is Housing Development, your one-stop housing show, your sure gateway to owning your own house in Nigeria. Ever wondered how it feels like to be your own landlord, where you do not have to go through the houses of paying rent annually? Just pause a little and imagine that. Feels good, I guess. Yes, that is why I'm right here to give you the latest news on housing in Nigeria that can help you become a house owner. As always, I am Flora and your host. I'll be right back.
It's here at last. Platinum Mega Mall is selling over 500 shop and office spaces. Platinum Mega Mall is one of the biggest shopping malls strategically located in the city center of the FCT, located at Mabuchi, opposite the Mabuchi Ultra Modern Market. It has all its shops and suites, giving you the privacy you need, banking hall spaces, a dedicated transformer backed up with a standby generator, 24-hour water supply, security, guaranteed, proper maintenance, and lots more.
A purchase of a space secures for you a CFO, which can be used to obtain credit facilities from World Bank. Please contact YMSC 0703 913 7999. You can also visit our website at www.psl-ng.com or visit any branch of Platinum Mortgage Bank Limited nationwide.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up now as limited spaces are available.
Welcome back. Owning a home is a fundamental human need that has gone unfulfilled for millions of Nigerians. Now, what is the way forward to fulfill the dreams and aspirations of millions who wish to own a home? What should the federal government do to tackle corruption in the housing sector? That is a cruise on Housing Matters today.
I believe that the federal government should be more sincere and be more proactive to make sure they carry out investigative work. So the government should come out with a policy, a workable policy. So I want federal government, the Buhari government, to do something seriously and fight these corruptions.
When you talk about fighting corruption in the housing sector, you talk about the substandard houses in the FCT, the number of houses that has fallen down, the collapsed buildings, and also the fake real estate developers, those that will tell you that they are building your house today and they will deliver it in 1 week, when in 2 years' time you've not even seen the house. We need the president to do something about the collapsed buildings, the substandard houses we have in the FCT, the fake real estate developers. I think that will go a long way in fighting corruption in the housing sector.
Corruption actually is all over. And for the federal government to fight corruption in the housing sector, I personally would like to say the first thing is that the federal government has to really know those that are there and know what they have, and actually if they know their assets, then at the time they know that things is going off hand, the federal government can question the individual, and by that it will enable everyone to sit up.
You can imagine the high rate of houses in Abuja and houses being locked up and people are not there to stay in it because the house rent is just not affordable. For instance, you go to sub-towns like Lugbe, you go to Massacre, you go to deep down in the city of Abuja, you can't even afford houses, and these houses are built with substandard material, and yet people can't still afford them. If the government can look into it, I think it's going to help the individuals in Nigeria. People want to live, people want to survive, but if there are no accommodation, if there is no shelter, how can the people live? How can we make Nigeria a better place? So I think the government should look at this matter with a serious attention and give positive response to people.
Housing Development Program, your usual encyclopedia on housing matters.
Yes, we've had some Nigerians speak on that crucial subject matter, but that's not all we've got for you, because Housing Development also spoke with Professor Charles Ofwebu, an eminent housing personality, and here's what he's got to say about tackling corruption in the housing sector.
In Abuja today, only 30% of people who work in Abuja reside in the city center that has amenity, that has facility, that has water, has electricity, that has good roads. The rest are coming in from the satellite centers. The rest are coming in from the satellite settlements, outer settlements. Nyanya, have you visited Nyanya? And see the situation under which people live. Have you gone to Day? Have you gone to Day? Beyond the immediate vicinities of Kubwa. Beyond Kubwa, immediate vicinities of Kubwa. Look beyond that and see the condition that people are living with large families. Mind you, people who live in those environments have the largest family size. Some of them have 6 kids. Some have 7. Some have 2 wives living in one room. That water is leaking, coming in, flowing through. When it rains, everything in the corridor is taken away. Is that habitation? Is that human settlement? No, that is not. So at the moment in this country, let us face the facts. Nigerians are not housed. This country only 20%, 15-20% are adequately and affordably housed. Has little or no housing, and the population is growing every day. That's why I say 17 million. When was that figure determined? I started hearing 17 million more than a year ago. Are you saying our population is not growing? Are you saying the youth our population is growing? Are you saying more people are not becoming 18 and above to own their own homes? The land policy has to also be addressed. Every Nigerian should have a right to a plot of land to live on. God gave the land to Nigerians. My advice to the incoming the present government is that the issue of land acquisition, land ownership in Abuja must be addressed. People are being kicked out of the little land they have because some big money bag has been allocated the entire area. And these things are done. Those who legitimately have land may not ever get C of O. The C of O's are being signed off to people left, right, and center. The issue of land ownership, the issue of land allocation, the issue of land certification by FCD must be addressed.
Housing Development Program, your usual encyclopedia on housing matters.
My name is Amachi Chinaiwayo. I'm the MD of Songold Estate Limited. I endorse this housing development program. This is a program that enables viewers to have access to good information on real estate here in Abuja and across the country. Please keep watching.
Housing development program is one program you can never afford to miss. Recommend it to you as your #1 housing program in Nigeria.
Watch Housing Development. It's your best bet to housing ownership in Nigeria.
Hydra is proud to be associated with Housing Development. I recommend it to all your viewers.
I'm calling on every Nigerian, and in fact all the people of Africa, to watch Housing Development.
Don't miss it.
Housing Development Program is the only program that gives you the best information on housing. Are you an estate developer, home interior stakeholder, distributor or manufacturer of building materials, furniture company? Housing Development Program is the right platform to showcase what you've got. Housing Development Program is an encyclopedia on housing matters.
Welcome back, people. This is still Housing Development, the only TV program that gives you the best information on housing in Nigeria. Home building, is a serious business. As a matter of fact, your investment in home building is about the most capital-intensive investment you will ever make. But the good news is that a building is built to outlive its builders. But that will only happen if you build right. Here are a few tips to note when building a house.
Things to note when building a house. Use good building materials. In a bid to do a fast and cheap project, some builders are in the habit of using substandard materials without taking cognizance of the serious negative effects that this could have on the buildings. I urge you to please avoid the use of poor building materials, as you might end up suffering more than you bargained for when such buildings collapses. Foundation challenge. It is common practice for building owners and developers to convert bungalows to story buildings. Usually, these people either ignore or are unaware of the fact that the foundation for a bungalow should not be used for a story building, as it was not designed for such excess load. Just as you cannot transport a trailer on a car, it would be disastrous for you to convert a bungalow to a story building, except the foundation was initially designed for multiple stories. Employ the services of professionals. To avoid collapse of buildings, employ the services of laborers and builders who are adequately skilled and can interpret the building design. This is one good reason for the importance of professional supervision in building construction. Nature of the soil. The nature and load-bearing capacity of the soil must be considered in a building design so as to produce a sufficient structural foundation for the building. Do you also know that the type of foundation made on dry lands is entirely different from that made on swampy areas? Lastly, ensure that building work is safe, durable, and does not endanger health, both for the current user of the building and to protect those who may buy and use the property in the future.
You don't want your investment to be wasted and also endanger the lives of others or even your family members. Then observe today's housing tips. Use good quality building materials and don't convert a bungalow to a story building, as that structure was not designed for such. And don't forget to also engage the services of professionals. You'll be doing yourself a whole lot of good when you observe all of that. Stay tuned.
Hello friend. It's okay to dream big, but it's even better to start small. So why not own a house in Abuja today through the nationwide Workers' Housing Scheme? It is set to benefit both government and private company workers contributing to pension scheme or the NHF. All you need is make a 10% and above initial deposit and the balance paid over 20-year period. Housing types include 2 and 3 bedroom block of flats, 4 bedroom duplex, 4 bedroom terrace duplex, and 5 bedroom duplex. For more information, kindly visit www.goodhomesnlctuc.com. Good Homes. We are committed to making your dream a reality.
Housing Development Program is the only program that gives you the best information on housing. Are you an estate developer, home interior stakeholder, distributor or manufacturer of building materials, furniture company? Housing Development Program is the right platform to showcase what you've got. Housing Development Program is an encyclopedia on housing matters.
Talking about a standard home built with quality materials, Rock City Housing Estate is a place where quality is not compromised. From our report from the site, let's get to know what the Chief Operating Officer of Rock of Ages Property has got for us.
Rock of Ages Properties Limited is developing unique and affordable 100,000 housing units through United Workers Housing Scheme in collaboration with Trade Union Congress across all the 36 states of the Federation, starting from the Federal Capital Territory. The project has commenced with 10,000 housing units in Rock City Airport Road and Rock City Day. The housing types include 2 and 3 bedroom apartments in a block, 2 and 3 terrace bungalow, 3 and 4 bedroom terrace duplex, 4 bedroom semi-detached duplex, 4 bedroom detached duplex and 5 bedroom fully detached duplex, built with state-of-the-art facilities, centralized water supply system, tarred roads, walkways and drainages, round-the-clock power supply, ample parking spaces, street lights, mega shopping mall with multifunctional facilities, recreational facilities and lots more. Payment for subscribers is spread over a period of 20 years. For inquiries or application process, please visit www.roaproperties.com or call 0802 633 3633, 0802 035 0170, or 0805 584 1099. Rock City, building affordable homes across Nigerian cities.
Housing is a very critical part of human existence. Those of you who had elementary business educational knowledge will realize that even Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs highlighted housing and food, as shelter and food, as one of the critical essentials of human existence. So in a nutshell, what it's essentially telling you is that if you deprive your community of housing, it's as good as depriving your community of their daily food. So housing remains very essential, very important, and very relevant. We have 443 hectares of land in Lugbe in Abuja. Our mandate there is to show the world that we can build as much as 10,000 housing units there, as variation of 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom duplexes, and various types, the low, medium, and high density. But the driving force here is this, that you and I, you don't have to be a commissioner, you don't have to be a minister, you don't have to be a director to own a livable space. And I want to also drive on the point. The mandate of Rock of Ages is this. Our mantra is this. We believe that if we provide you with a 2-bedroom accommodation, it's an excellently finished accommodation. I'm talking of in terms of the quality. We pay premium, pay attention to the quality of the construction at the site, the structure of the foundation, and the entire electrical and construction program is going on. Our mandate is that a house is as good as the strength of that house. Like I said, it's a project that you can eat or you can have it. If you want to live in a house that build a house that could last for 50, 100 years, you can't afford to negotiate the quality. So Rock of Ages Properties is taken up from that angle, and that is our mantra. The quality is incredible, it's impeccable, and you find that by the time you are through with this, whoever buys a house in our estate, for instance, for maybe 10 million naira, you are paying over 10 years. And I'm assuring you, that house will outlive you. The quality and the structure. You will live there for maybe, when you finish paying for 10 years or 25 years, your children will live there and they have to sit standing. Let me make it clear, and I appreciate the fact that many of us, see, I'm not excluding myself, many of us may have fallen victim to housing scam. What Rock of Ages has come to do is to provide a bedrock for capacity and integrity and honesty. Look at the name of the brain behind Rock of Ages and what we are doing. If you work today in an oil and gas industry, you work today in a banking industry, you have no business buying a plot of land and fighting with the money left. You have no business struggling with that. All we are saying is that give us an opportunity to come to your audience and speak to you about the structure and the dynamics of you owning a 3-bedroom flat now and pay over 10 years and allow the secondary mortgage market to work. These things are working all over the world. I appreciate the constraint of you listening to me now, maybe an oil worker, the bank workers, every other private sector from the corporate world. I can appreciate your strong. I'm not telling you that. Understand my message. And Rock of Ages is more like an housing evangelism to let people understand that this is not a difficult thing. Having spoken this far, if you want to join us in this battle to solve the housing issue, you can come to our site at Lugbe. The site is active. As I speak to you now, the construction is going on. You can call the lines on your screen. Actually, myself and my team will operate 24/7. If you give us any call, Monday to Sunday, 24/7, we will respond to your need. Right? Keep your phones to you. Visit the site. Ask questions. Ask my engineers questions. Visit my office in Maitama, Etio Street in Abuja. Come anytime, any day, and ask your question. We will address it. Just to enable you understand that we are in this push and this evangelistic program to provide housing for all, so that an average Nigerian will actually realize that this thing that they see overseas is actually possible in Nigeria. I invite you again and again, say, listen, we are not paying lip service. We are a group that speaks and delivers. We are a group that has capacity and incredible integrity. We are a group that have realized that it is more gratifying and give us a psychic satisfaction to provide these things to Nigeria. Come to the site and see what you are doing. Come to my office and ask questions. Call me 24/7. I'll be excited and glad to pick your call and address all your questions. Thank you.
What more can you ask for? The Chief Operating Officer of Rock of Ages Properties Limited has said it all. Whenever you need to set aside, you want to take an inspection tour, they are there 24/7 to attend to you. And one thing you must know is that the payment plans are so flexible. Don't miss this. Your dream of owning a house will become a reality when you key into Rock City Housing Estate.
Rock of Ages Properties Limited is developing unique and affordable 100,000 housing units through United Workers Housing Scheme in collaboration with Trade Union Congress across all the 36 states of the Federation, starting from the Federal Capital Territory. The project has commenced with 10,000 housing units in Rock City Airport Road and Rock City Day. The housing types include 2 and 3 bedroom apartments in a block, 2 and 3 terrace bungalow, 3 and 4 bedroom terrace duplex, 4 bedroom semi-detached duplex, 4 bedroom detached duplex and 5 bedroom fully detached duplex, built with state-of-the-art facilities, centralized water supply system, tarred roads, walkways and drainages, round-the-clock power supply, ample parking spaces, street lights, mega shopping mall with multifunctional facilities, recreational facilities and lots more. Payment for subscribers is spread over a period of 20 years. For inquiries or application process, please visit www.roaproperties.com or call 0802-633-3633, 0802-035-0170 or 0805-584-1099. Rock City, building affordable homes across Nigerian cities.
You're still watching Housing Development, brought to you by First Step Communications. Last year, 2014, the federal government announced its plan to make available to Nigerians 10,000 housing units as its first phase in tackling the housing deficit in the country. And by the time subscription closed early September, about 66,402 persons had subscribed. That is a sign that housing problem is really a big issue in the country. Now, Professor Charles Ofuebo, the former Director General of Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, has recommended a solution he calls Made in Nigerian Houses. Let's get to know what this is all about.
Made in Nigeria house basically is a house built with locally available materials. It's a house for which the materials that are used are locally sourced. It's a house for which the labor that is used are locally sourced. It's a house that depends on alternative technologies, to a large extent locally developed and evolved. It's a house that seeks to attract labor from the environment and train them hands-on, and by so doing, reduce the cost once deliver the houses. For the house, you need some laterite that is locally sourced. You need local fiber for the roofing sheets. Of course, when you have fiber, you have a bit of cement. You have a bit of cement, you have the fiber, you have a vibrator that is locally designed and built, actually fabricated locally. And then, of course, what do? Within 1 week, you train local labor on how to use the brick-making machines and how to produce roofing tiles. And once you've done that, you cut out the extensive, a lot of percentage on labor. Labor that could be put, the contractor could put at 20%, it ends up being about 5%. The vibrators, the technology is alternative, they're locally developed, and those technologies have been well tested and in some countries adopted and now made commercial. It's the same machine, the same technology that the South Africans now transform to the very popular brick producing machine they're using now, using laterites. Very little hydroform, so-called very little cement input, because the volume, when you reduce the amount of cement you use in producing a brick, you reduce the cost of the house. The cost of the wall is reduced by nearly 60%. The cost of the roof is reduced by nearly 50%. And so that is where the savings are. To embrace it as a massive means of providing housing, embrace the technology. The technology is aesthetically beautiful. You don't even need air conditioners to live in them because it's very cold. In some parts of the country, you need heaters to even sleep. You don't need any air conditioning. Very solid. You don't need any low maintenance. You don't repaint often, and it's still very beautiful. In South Africa, some of the ministers live in houses built with those bricks. The bricks, the roof. Because once you have the bricks and you lay a brick, do the brickwork, and you put a roof over that brick, every other thing in the building is subject to your taste. When you provide a house, you provided an economy. If you provide adequate housing, not necessarily in the city centers, in the suburbs, you reduce the pressure on the city centers, you reduce migration, you reduce crime. A lot more people will prefer to live in the suburbs and come to work and even stay there. The economy there will grow, and that economy will grow and the city will again develop there. Affordability of housing that is affordable, adequate in the sense of amenities, adequacy in the terms of aesthetics, adequacy in terms of beauty and space. This is what we need in this country.
Well, made in Nigerian houses club. I can't wait to see this myself. Since we have made in Nigerian cars, made in Nigerian this and made in Nigerian that, having made in Nigerian houses wouldn't be a bad idea either. Well, Professor Charles Ofuegwe, I will surely invite you to speak more on made in Nigerian houses. I'll be back after the quick break. Stay tuned.
I encourage you to always watch the housing development program. There is a lot that you are gaining to make your stay in urban center qualitative.
Housing development is your best bet to housing ownership in Nigeria. Don't miss it.
Thanks for watching, people. If you miss any information on this program, you can watch online via YouTube, Housing TV Online, or tweet at Abuja Housing Show. The radio version of this program comes up on Ray Power Fridays, 5 p.m. Don't forget to tune in. I am Flora Anne. As always, believe in Nigeria. Bye-bye.
The place to showcase what you've got here. Encyclopedia on housing matter.